over 1,000 years at Cardboard Alchemy's Event Horizon, but time is moving much slower for us. There has been a blip in technology as we've been getting all of the things ready over here. So let's see if anyone can hear me, please do let me know. We are live, assuming everyone can hear me at the edge. You have to let me know if you can. We are recording a solo playthrough. Plus, I'm going to go over setup and everything because we have a lot of people who are just experiencing the edge for the first time, and I want to go. I want to go over how to get ready for a Unity game. Now, this is me trying to figure out how to do multiple cameras over here. So, thank you for everyone confirming you can hear me. That's awesome. What I'm doing is I'm going to just play live because to edit something before Essen would not be possible. But I thought if I could just play a game out, it might help some people who are trying to figure out the game, Andromeda's Edge. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, everybody who's joining in. Now, of course, this is going to be a little bit slow for the people who know how to play because I have not even set up yet. I am literally going to go over everything about getting ready for a solo game, and then I'm going to start playing something. So I imagine some people will tune in and out. Check back when we are actually going. I'm going to pick a faction. I'm going to pick a Unity level. I'm going to do all the things for solo here. And we're playing with the standard edition of the game for the most part. I am going to bring in some of the deluxe pieces, but I want to show everybody what you get if you get the standard edition of the game. So we have the standard box. We have also the escalation box, which is what you really need to do this. You need Andromeda's Edge escalation in order to play a solo player. And I'm going to show everybody what is included with that. Hey, someone's like, we're playing our second game tonight. Excellent. Thank you, Mike, for appreciate that. Hope you have fun. So I'm going to go over when you get Unity. I'll show a couple of things here. When you get the escalation expansion, you are also going to get, not only are you going to get a white player board. Right now I've got yellow for the for our player, but you're also going to get, and I'll move this over, you're also going to get this Unity player station right here. This Unity command fleet that they have is going to be where they operate from. So also in the escalation box, you're going to find the white player pieces that are going to basically be your, you can play Unity as any color, but we're going to get all of the white ships out here and we're going to set Unity up. So Unity has this fleet board where you set up their ships on the corresponding spaces. So they're going to have their heavy cruiser right there, and they're going to put a transport on each of the spots marked. Now the numbers and the letters on the Unity mat will matter in play. Basically, you're going to go from A to D in terms of how you bring these out on the board. But the transports in particular have a number on the inside, and that is how you're going to put them back, because Unity does start to lose. I say lose transports, but what they do with their transports is they build developments and then they don't have their transports anymore. So this guides you on how to put them back. And you have the science vessel. Basically, you have these three rows. You have row 1, 2, and 3. And as you roll dice, 1, 2, or 3, 4, 5, or 6, that's going to tell you what row to activate, what card to activate. And it is more likely that you're going to get a 1, 2, and 3, but it's not guaranteed. And so that is what sort of creates some of the drama about where you think Unity will go. I've also got this Unity probe right here. This probe is going to help Unity track where you are on the board and follow you around. You've also got all these leaders for Unity. I'm not going to go over a complete setup of the original game too much. Maybe I will, but there may be some assumptions about what you know, what you don't know. If anyone doesn't know anything, you can ask questions on this video now or on this video later, and we'll be happy to answer them. But Unity has a number of leaders that will go on alliance bases. There's actually 6 leaders that will be on alliance bases, just like the player. And then they have 3 left over. Those 3 left over, in the player's case, 2 of them are going to be lost in space. 1 will be on your station. In Unity's case, all 3 will be on their station. One of them will be used for their command wheel, and then they'll also get more leaders from an NPC. Basically, they've captured some enemy leaders already. I'm going to put the 3 right there. We're going to get the 3 to the board for putting on the Nebula in just a minute, or putting on the alliance bases in just a minute. I also want to get out the Unity deck of cards. We've got lots of cards that come in the solo game. What you've got is you've got a set of development cards. Now these cards are replacements for the ones that you have in the base game. The only thing that's different about these cards is that they show you, we did this so that people would have a very quick reference on what Unity does get for their own developments. So there is a symbol on the bottom of these cards that helps tell you what Unity gets different than you. So let's just replace the development cards that you already have. If you are going to play a lot of solo, you can just use these development cards permanently. If you're not going to play a lot of solo, you can avoid playing with these development cards or swap them out as needed. Unity also has a conflict deck of cards. Now that is like their tactics and diplomacy that they get to do during the game. So every time there's a fight, they will pull something out of their sleeve, possibly. That's with this conflict deck. You're going to get those cards. The other thing you're going to have is you're going to have a series of action cards. Action cards being in level 1, 2, and 3, and they correspond to the 3 levels that you're going to have on your Unity board. So you're going to actually have a deck of level 3, like so, and then we'll shuffle that deck and put that right there, and get these all set up. Now you can play these a couple different ways. You can play them where these are all face up, so that the minute you pull one off, you know what the next one is, or you can play it so that they are face down, and then you flip the top one face up, and you have to do that every time that there is a new one. Not sure what I'm going to do yet for this setup because I've got such a funky camera setup going on right now. Now, I appreciate everybody who's watching and tuning in. This has got to be a little bit slow as molasses for some of you, but I know that there's others who will potentially want to use this video to figure out how to get into the edge. So I am setting up Unity's station right now. I've got a level 1, 2, and a 3 card set up. I'm going to flip over the first card of each one. And I apologize, today I'm also dealing with an injured thumb, so I'm doing this sort of one-handed here. All right, so these are the 3 areas that you know Unity is going to go to next if they roll that die on their turn. There's also a corner action, which Unity will perform after their main action. So in this particular case, after the Unity took this action, then they would also take a repair action. That is a little bit tricky to remember, so you always have to kind of do the main action and then think about these corner spaces after that. So that's mostly set up for Unity. I'm going to get them a captured color. So let's say today they have captured purple leaders. So I'm going to get some purple leaders for their area. Let's see here. Let's get 5 captured purple leaders. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And now we're also going to pick a Unity commander to play. So when you're playing Unity, you choose whether you want to play Unity level 1, 2, or 3. Oh, and someone was reminding me, don't forget about card 600. There is one card in the deck that is a known mistake. We're actually printing a new one, but it is just one of these directions that Unity goes. They actually go, there's two northwests. So what I do is the one that is the messed up one until we get a new one is card 600. Card 600 is easily, let's see if I can find the right one. Card 600 is not marked with a, it has no repair in the corner, unlike the other northeast. So the other northeast is the one that we treat as northeast with the repair. The one that doesn't have a repair that is going northeast, we're going to treat as southwest for the purposes of Unity. May or may not impact us. Thanks for that reminder. Back to the Mark's like, I would like to get 5 more white leaders so they could be unified. But I like the different color because it's like Unity has stolen already, has already assimilated, has taken over. They're like the Borg, you know. They've already been to the edge, and they're starting to get dangerous. They've already captured 5 leaders of another color. I have to get out Unity's dice here. Now Unity, you can play level 1, 2, or 3 when you're looking for the expansion. Also comes with these 3 expansion factions: the Cloud People, the Acolytes, and the Kruln. I don't know if I'm going to be one of those today or not, but you also get level 3 commanders, you get level 2 commanders, and you get for someone like myself, you might want to try level 1 at first. The difference is that level 1 has, well, they all have Sergio's amazing art, but level 1 has no powers, and level 2 gets a little bit more interesting because they add some something that they do uniquely to all the other commanders. And then finally, level 3 should be the toughest opponents, ready to destroy you. And they've got quite a aggressive command wheel as compared to the level 1. Everybody in the chat right now, have you been playing level 1, level 2, or level 3 Unity here? Very curious to find out. And I don't know what I should play today. I believe I'm going to play level 2, even though I am pretty much a level 1. I'm a level 1 player, but I like the idea of showing a power here. So I believe that means we're going to choose one of the level 2 commanders, which is either going to be Major Tom, Major Key, or Major Havoc. Now, Major Havoc is, their power is Assault. When Unity wins a battle, each defeated player must damage one of their modules. Oof, that's devastating. Although I'm tempted to play against Major Havoc with the Techno Blorps, where I don't care about the damage. We've got Major Key, which has missile silos. Unity developments provide 1d6 to Unity for battles in regions within range 2. So when they build developments, those are going to provide some serious cover. Missile silos for Major Key. And then I think my favorite is Major Tom. Capture: when Unity wins a battle, each defeated player must move one of their leaders from their station to Unity station. Pay 1 credit to get him back. How evil. How evil. Very tempted to play Major Tom as well. Let's see. Ground control to Major Tom. Is that a vote? Is that a vote for Major Tom? And we've got Matthew saying, hey, I'm still waiting for my copy to arrive. We cannot wait to get you a copy of this game. So appreciate everybody chiming in. So this is a new game. We're still delivering it to people. I hope this video helps people set up for the first time in some cases, and in other cases, you get something that you can check out if you're having questions on solo mode. Let's see. I haven't played against Major Key in a while, and that seems like a fun one. That's not gonna. If I play Major Tom, I'm tempted to pick a faction like the Allied Tribes, and if I play Major Havoc, I'm tempted to pick Techno Blorps. I think I would pick Major Key because I don't have any preconceived notion of what I would do to cheat. Not unless I cheat, but like this is going to be part of the game, is trying to figure out what faction that you think will do best against Unity and what commander you want to try out. So I am going to put this commander here. Now, when you have a commander in play, I'll move this down a little bit. You put a leader up on the command wheel right in the corner. There's a little leader marker that doesn't do anything when they come back around. It's just indicating that that's where the leader starts. That's where it's no longer a leader. It's now just a marker for your command wheel. And you put that right there in the first space. And the command wheel will go around as Unity plays. It's one of the most devastating parts of Unity is this command wheel. And you'll find that out when you play. You do not want that to happen, but of course it does continually happen to you. All right, now we've got some other cards in the box for the Escalation expansion. You've got this deck of cards that is a new event deck, because Escalation does come with the Nether Void and the deck Shadows of the Void, which are these purple-backed cards like so. That's Shadows of the Void. There's 10 of those. But there's also replacement cards. There are 6. There's 3 replacement cards for Galactic Dawn, 2 replacement cards for Cosmic Twilight, and 1 for Shadows of the Void. And you can tell those replacement cards because they are the only ones marked with a Unity symbol at the bottom. These cards can go in your deck to make sure that you know how Unity will treat this specific event. So whatever event deck you're playing with, you would sub out those cards. So I have to decide if I'm going to play with Galactic Dawn is sort of the easy event deck. Galactic Cosmic Twilight is the one that beats you up. Not that I need any more danger here, but it does also beat up on Unity. And then you've got Shadows of the Void, which is the Chaos deck. And when you play with Shadows of the Void, you need to put in the Nether Void and the Void Drake. It's a whole thing. We also have this card. I mean, the Void Drake is included in Escalation if you're playing with it. We also have this card, which comes with just a reminder on the con, which is the if you're playing in a multiplayer game, this matters a little bit more, because what you could do is you could play Unity in a 2 or 3 player game, in which case this will be on the player that Unity is watching. In a solo game, this is always on you. On the other side, it reminds you rules for the pro. So you can have this card reference. You can have it handy. I'm not going to play Shadows of the Void, so I don't need to worry about the Void Drake. I'm tempted to play Cosmic Twilight because it's just wrecks you, and it is one of the ways that is the way that Luca Maximus originally intended the game is with Cosmic Twilight, but it's brutal. And I think right now, since this is a teach game, and I'm already going for a level 2, let's go for the Dawn. It's the one that most people will play as their first deck is Galactic Dawn. So I've got the 3 replacement cards right here, and I'm going to go get the deck now, so I can have that event deck also. This is sort of this is a trial run also for me to see how many cameras I need. We'll do another video with our friend Rosie where we're like doing a live, a little bit more robust live, I believe, where I'll get some more cameras set up and we'll have it a little bit more structured. But in the meantime, we're working it out. So I've also got all of the Raider cards from the base game. We'll go through the Raider cards in just a moment. We'll go through our picking our faction in just a moment. But I'm going to get the... So right now I'm going to take Galactic Dawn and I'm going to sub out the events. I've got to find Energy Surge, Fragmented Relic, and Welcome to the Fleet. And so once I find those, I am going to take... You don't need... If you're going to play with Unity all the time, you don't need your multiplayer version of the card because it's exactly the same, just with a Unity change at the bottom. So I've changed out Fragmented Relic, and now I'm changing out Energy Surge. By the way, a shout out to our friends that make the game Lunar Rush. This is another Easter egg in Andromeda's Edge. This is based on the game, and we're friends with the publisher of Lunar Rush, and so it was kind of a neat thing. They tested the game with Luke, and we put their game in our game. This is a fun thing. All right, so mixing up this event deck. Like I said, I'm not going to go over the setup of the main game. There's lots of other videos that are going to go over how to set up the event deck and how to set up the board and so forth. I'm just going to cover mostly how to set up for Unity, and then the rest of the board, I'm going to get all that set up as we talk this out. So Mark is saying that he uses the con to go back and forth to keep track of turns. That is very helpful if you're trying to remember whose turn it is. Usually in a 1v1, I can keep on top of that part. I can imagine that would be a lot harder in a multiplayer, though. That's why we did have the card. The card also is really useful in a multiplayer where you can keep it between the two players, that so that Unity does change positions of who they follow after events. So it can be tricky. Someday we should film one of those. By the way I've got this set up is that this camera can then also go over to our player setup, so that when we're covering the game today, we can have two different cams for what Unity's doing, what we're doing. And then I'll pick this box off the board so that the board will always be, so you can always see the action, the tiles that are in play. I'm going to have to pick a faction here as we go. I'm going to set up the rest of the game, and we're going to figure out what faction I'm going to be. They're playing yellow today. That's in honor of, well, I like yellow a lot as well, but that is Luke's pick here. We do not have our heavy cruiser built yet, so we'll don't have our science vessel. Don't have our fighter. Not yet. Fighter's a good ship to get when you're playing against Unity, though, because you can jump in occupied places, fight back. But of course, we're going to be looking to potentially upgrade our fighter and get it for free, not build it outright. We need 6 leaders for the Alliance bases. We need 2 leaders for a nebula, and we have 1 in our station. Got our dice. This might not have been the best color to pick for lighting as far as dice rolls. So that's, you can see the results of these. I'll be calling on the dice rolls, but maybe yellow and white are not the most contrast. I can switch the colors too if we need to. I'm also going to have certain things that are just going to be off camera, like the event board and the scrapyard. I think we're going to have to deal with those things happening. Meanwhile, I'll get the hexes set up and talk through some other things while I get this all set up. Then we'll go. Let's move the game box out of the way. Make sure we get everything set up. Lots of regions here. Let's see. All right, let's set up for Andromeda's Edge. We're not gonna play with the bonus regions like the vortexes, the quasars. We'll trust that we'll get that on another day. I do have some footage coming out about how to play with those. So, and I'm also going to just not worry too much about traditional setup today. We're just going to put stuff wherever we want to put stuff. You would normally go through the setup procedures, deal these out. I'm just having fun putting them in different spots today. So now the number of planets is always players times 2. So Unity does count as a player. So in the solo mode with 1 other player, which is Unity, you would just go with 4 planets. I already have 3 out, so I just have to put 1 more planet. This would all be randomly determined. But I'm just setting this up. Shipyard, we have 6 Alliance bases. Okay, we're going to put a leader for us in all of the Alliance bases. And a leader for Unity in each of the Alliance bases. We also have to have a die roll for us, for our 2 leaders that have been captured or sent or lost in the nebula. Do that. Got a bunch of other hexes here for when new planets come out. All right. No gameplay has been missed yet. No, we're going. We're setting this up. I did see there's a great gameplay that's out there for solo. It's already all set up. This is a little bit slower over here because I wanted to make sure that everybody who is playing this for the first time knows how to set up for Unity, knows what changes to do, how to get the game going, and how to take a couple turns. So we'll do another video that's a little bit possibly better edited. But here's Unity again, all set up, playing against Major Key today. See if we can't get a Unity victory at level 2. Tough for me to get level 2, I'll tell you that. Let's get those out of the way. I'm not a pro at solo games. And I also play a lot of games for fun. Just to say that I don't overthink. I just go with my gut, and that is not necessarily the way that you gotta think these things out if you're gonna win against Unity. So we'll see if I can do this on the fly, not take too long on my turns, and still have a solid showing against Unity. I'm sure someone will tell me what I should do. Probably a little bit late. I'll make a move and then it'll be hindsight. Oh, we should have done that. Yeah. So I'm setting up the board right now for the science stacks. Not really worrying about what's in each stack. Like I said, the actual rules to the game will be covered in the rulebook, but we're trying to go fast, or we're trying to not worry too much about the actual exact setup rules for this showing. And I am playing with a mixture of standard and deluxe components. Right now I'm also playing with cardboard moons, discovery tokens, and whatnot, which is absolutely fine. Let's get some supremacy tokens out there on the board as well. What are we going to play with today? Let's see. First person to get there. Second. Third. Okay. Don't need any more of those. Let's get some moons out there. Let's go. We've got an industry planet, so let's get some industry moons out there. Supremacy planet. Let's get that going. There's an icy planet to build cities on, and it looks like it's leftmost, which means Unity's going to covet it. Probably get it before me. All right, we need some moons for the nebula. Just playing with our core set here. 2 points for that one. All right, where are the other 2? There's one, and there's the other one. Good moons in the nebula. Got more moons. Should we need some more to come out? We also have to pick our raiders. I wonder what everybody chooses to play against when you're playing Unity. Do you want tough raiders, easy raiders? What's everybody going for? We have to pick a raider for A, B, C, and D, and S for our game. There's also something I've been seeing people do on Facebook where they are not looking as to what they're picking, so that's kind of fascinating to me. So in other words, we could pick a D raider and not know what we're going to get until it comes out. That's kind of fun. But we are not currently mixing in the promos, so I'm just going to have one of two D raters to choose from. We won't know which one until the moment of. We'll do the same thing with B raters. We won't know. We'll just choose between these two B raters. Have no idea what's happening. Let's see what happens. C raters, we are going to eliminate the Void Drake. That's going to be out, but then the other choices are going to be either the Ice Pirates or the Kraken. We'll find out. And then that leaves for, without using the promo brain, we're talking about the Chupa Vampa or the Korgan Smugglers for our A rater. And finally, S, you do have to kind of look because, of course, you have them out in the beginning. So we're going to play with the Vorticon Strikers, which are the entry-level baddies. Like I said, I'm going to be missing certain areas of the board setup, so I'm not going to have these cards available unless we need them. So I will just bring out the Vorticons. Now here I am going to upgrade to our deluxe components, which anyone can get if they go pick up Supernova. The reason why I'm going to do that is because I think it'll be a little bit easier overhead to see them. This is potentially a game that needs better lighting on my camera rig, so I'll work on that in the future as well. Appreciate everyone sticking with me. If you're watching this, going through what is a rookie playthrough over here. We're doing it just for fun. Also, in general, we do want to show more solo content on our YouTube, and I would like to get a permanent rig set up so that I can film at any time and show a certain part of a game. That's what we're building towards, so this will help us get there. Sorry for anyone having to go through sort of a rough time of it as we get that going. We are not as polished in video editing as, say, some creators out there. There are some great videos already, so I'm excited if anyone else wants to point them out in Facebook. We appreciate knowing when there are great plays of the game. All right, we're going to roll 2 dice for the Vorticon Strikers. They are going to go in Nebula 1 and 2. That's going to keep them. They're going to guard this icy planet. Can that be seen all the way over there? Yeah, they're over there. They're guarding the icy planet. We'll see if that stops Unity from messing around over there. Okay, I need to get Unity's pieces. Uh-oh. After all that, I think I left Unity's score markers somewhere else. I'm going to have to switch some to another color. All right, fine. We're switching Unity over. They're not going to be white anymore. They are moving on. They have shifted. They're shifting to blue. It's happened. We can actually keep one die over here to be their die for rolling for their action, and their other dice for combat, because they will need all their combat dice. Let's put it that way. Let's do this. Sorry everybody for the switcheroo. This makes for great video when you change pieces, everyone. But I'm missing some markers as we are doing tons of Andromeda's Edge replacement and all sorts of things. I just don't have the white pieces around here. No matter. What we can do, actually, it's kind of funny, is we'll take out these purple ones, and we'll actually say that Unity has captured 5 white ones over here, and then we'll get into blue ones as their official players. One's on the command wheel right there. That way now we can get these markers down for Unity. They are playing major key, so they're going to get a head start in industry and supremacy. Oh, great. That's fantastic. Fantastic. This is kind of fun, actually. We've just got like the highlighted fleet. It's kind of amusing. We'll do that for right now. They've got like a mixed fleet. It still works. Yeah, what am I doing here? Okay, we gotta take these dice out. And I need our token. Unity starts at 2 points because they're going second, and we start at 1 point because we're going first. And we don't know what tracks we're on yet. So we'll start at the bottom and we'll pick a faction and then we'll go up the right tracks here. Okay, we got the probe, which always starts on the leftmost, topmost region to start the game. And the reason for that is that you could, that is hard to see, lighting is tough. You could actually launch to the nebula. It's theoretically possible that you could launch to the nebula on your first turn. Unity never goes into the nebula, so we do give them a place to start so that they can be on the board even if you're not. Okay, it's time to pick a starting faction. See, Mark said, today I'll use red dice to assign targeting value for combat. That'll help me roll faster without thinking too much with numbers. That's a fun idea. There's lots of ways you can. I know that as I know solo players are very resourceful. I know everyone's going to come up with their own tricks, tips, post them in Facebook on BGG and tell us all the different ways you can make this a faster experience, which is exciting. Now let's get, I'm still doing setup. Everybody bear with me. I've got to get the modules all set up. These should only be the modules in the base game. So I won't worry too much about the decks at this time. I'll just get these going. Because this set was played recently by somebody else, so I have to kind of see what order, the way they left it. And I'll have to shuffle these a little bit. Okay, so yeah, this is base game stuff here. So we don't have to worry about it. When you own the game, you can mix in all of the modules. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Just we won't see obliterated. We won't see obliterated relic, metamorphosis, explosive, those types of things. We'll just see the base module. But they're meant to be mixed in. The game's been tested with all of the modules in play, so it doesn't affect anything if you start your first game mixing everything in, if you own everything. But if you get the retail edition and have bought Escalation, you can choose to put the relics in after you get used to the game. Relics are a way of doing set collection. You find these ancient relics and you can work to collect those. Get a big set of those for some serious points. Of course, Unity can collect them as well, so you're not really immune to Unity discovering the ancient relics. All right, we're mixing up the modules here just for a little shuffle. And then we're going to put these out. We'll pick a faction. Still deciding what faction to play. There are 18 factions, 12 in the base game, 3 more in the expansion, and 3 promos. And we could play, I might just play one of the expansion factions because they're in front of me, the Nebulon Cloud people. The Kraln, if I want some fighting and hatching ships, that could be fun. I'm going to play the Kraln today. That'd be very fun. And then we also have the Darkstar Acolytes, which I love the Darkstar Acolytes in a small player game, actually. Okay, we'll put out some, oh geez, it's all damaged. All the science modules are damaged. Industry, damaged again. And let's see, we got commerce. And yeah, there we go. Oh, I like logistics. I want to get that one. don't know if anyone's noticed, but one of the tips against Unity is to let them draft certain modules like the ones that reward resources to everybody, because you don't want to be giving Unity resources for free. Let them take those. Also, let them snatch up the damaged ones that are also they'll take from the bottom, so that would be a good one to let them have. But you want to take the ones that are very flexible for you, useful for our game. So let's see what we have. Should we play the crawl? Yeah, let's just make it easy. Let's pick the crawl and then let's see how it happens. See how it goes. Okay, so the crawl, there. Let me move over to the player station and talk about them. Here we go. We'll move this over. We're gonna play the crawl today. All right. So the crawl have two special powers. Their powers are that they've got hatch. When you build or gain a ship, you may have it begin in any region containing your ships. And hive mind, when you build a development, spend one less resource if you have two or more ships within range 1 of the region being developed. Look at that art by Sergio. Yes. We're going to swarm. We're going to hatch all over the board, and we're going to destroy major key with cheaper developments. We're going to get on the board fast. All right, so the crawl actually, they start on the same 2 tracks, which is kind of interesting. So we're starting up on supremacy. We're starting up on industry. We've just neutralized the Unity advantage in those tracks, but we also don't have our own tracks that we're particularly special in versus them. The other thing that I need to do is get the upgrades, because we have upgrades for us. We have upgrades for Unity. Okay, let's get some upgrades. I just have to deal out one upgrade per one neutral upgrade, then find our special upgrade. So give ourselves a fighter, a heavy cruiser, science vessel, and a transport, and then we'll search for our special, which is going to be not in the box I'm looking in. It's going to be in the expansion. So we're going to punch out. The expansion happens to come with. Don't tell me I don't have it. Yes, of course I don't, because pieces are everywhere. I do have the Unity upgrade tokens. I'm going to punch those out. I may have to switch from the crawl, though, because I don't seem to have their upgraded ship. This is the Unity tokens. They have their own upgrades, which we'll get into if they'll probably unlock those. They look like they're poised to go up the industry check. All right, well, we'll play with somebody else, considering that I just have the base game upgrades with me. I just don't have the Stinger upgrade, so I will change it up. We'll play with another faction. Who we're going to play with instead? We no longer have our supremacy in our industry advantage. Who would it be? Should be the porters, the Tulsi porters. That will make good use of. Yeah, let's try them out today. That'll make good use of the 2 fields being far apart. And so we'll just have to find the porters upgrade. Thanks again to everybody for bearing with me as I set up the game a little bit slowly, but surely. Next time we'll have it all set up ready to go, and we'll just talk through the setup pieces. All right, so we're going to get up the porters, which is now going to have 2 different powers than what I said before, which is that we are playing with pick up and deliver. Whenever we launch to an alliance base, we can spend 1 credit or any 2 resources to advance 1 space on the commerce track. And we've got trade routes, which says that when we buy modules, we don't have to worry about where we're buying it from. We can buy any module we'd like. Let's get the Tulsi porters going. They are going to advance in these 2 tracks. So now we're seeing a complete difference than Unity. And we have this ship upgrade the Merchant Skarn is available to us. Plus, I've dealt myself a random one from these other 4 types. So today we've got the command ship, which can lure raiders. We've got a deep space science vessel that goes pretty far into the nebula. We've got an elite fighter. If we choose to, we want to upgrade that because it's got targeting. And we've got turbo transports, which is going to give us some super range to our transports. Plus so we can either go for this command ship that lures raiders, or of course we want to try and get our Merchant Skarn possibly. No shields though, but is going to generate credits whenever we launch it. So if we go fast and get those upgrades, we can get the Merchant Skarn going really fast. Okay, let me get the resources for the Tulsi Porters. They are starting with, I'm using the deluxe resources today, 3 energy, 1 titanium, 1 ice, 1 credit, which is fun. And then they also have, that's all, that information's all right there. And they also have 3 cards. We'll get that going. Unity does not have any cards, but of course if they get cards, that is going to mean that they get points possibly at the end of the game. Should we play with Destiny? It's another mode that I like to play with. And it doesn't... Destiny is really good when you're a new player and when you're an experienced player, I think. We could play with Destiny. Let's try it. So we are going to deal out... So these are the Destiny cards. The way they work is there was a vote for Jellyloids. I love it. I do love the Jellyloids, and I do love the Cloud People. But I am not playing the expansion factions as I don't have the 3 tiles for their ship upgrades. Just has to answer this question. Explosive Metamorphosis and Obliterated modules are not part of the base game. They are in a module pack that was an add-on. And when you get the expansion, you get relics. When you get the add-on, you get those 3 types. So, anyways, for Destiny, how it works is that there is a track that you get 10 points in if you get to if you're tied or at the highest of that track, and there's a track where you get 5 points. This would be a great one for us. If we draw this one as the Tulsi Porters, it's kind of what we're already trying to do, but you don't necessarily get the one that you're trying to do. You get dealt 2. This would normally be something you can look at before you pick your faction so that you could say, well, I think I like the way these 2 have turned out, but I'm going to make it harder for myself. I have not seen... So I've already drawn something that now, here, look at this. This is very difficult for me. If I had seen these Destiny cards, and I was, of course, picking, I might have picked the Kruln right away because these are matching the Kruln, and also this is, right what Unity is trying to do. And so I would have just been aggressive and tried to win both of those over. As it stands, I've either got to do that now where I'm not set up for it, or I can branch out a little bit into science, which is not something that Unity is focused in. So that's my options. Now, Unity, we don't know what their 2 cards are, but basically they'll get a Destiny card, and they'll just you'll give them the better score. You'll choose the one that they would have done better on. So they're going to do quite well at their Destiny if they manage to go up the tracks. So I believe what we're going to do, we're going to pretend that Unity is here to cause our extinction. And so we're going to pick the Destiny of Escape Extinction. That is what we're going to try and do this game. That means we're going to have a little bit of a drive towards science, and we're going to want to get up that supremacy track if at all possible. I can see that Major Key, however, is focused on that track. So this will be a very difficult mission. This is the kind of nuances in the game when you're setting up that you can either engineer to be more in your favor for an easier game, or you can play it as it lies. I'm just playing it as it happens here. I'm not afraid of Unity. I'm not also afraid of losing. I just want to have a good time. So that is what I'm going to do. And it's going to be pretty hard to shuffle these with my bad thumb, but we're going to do what we can with tactics cards. Let's just get these shuffled. All right, we're almost set up to go. All right. We're going to deal out 3 tactics cards for our hand, and we'll tell everybody what we get, obviously, when we... Let's see what we get. Well, we've got some good starters for combat. We've got Perfect Shot, which is going to give us the ability to play a 6 at any time. We've also got Paid to Lose when we lose a battle, which is probably going to happen pretty early on. We're going to be able to take 2 credits instead of our tactical ops. And we've also got Unwelcome Visitor, which is to activate an opponent's non-science module. So that's going to be good. If Unity gets a good module, it will be mine for 1 turn. So I've got those 3 tactics cards. We'll have the rest of the tactics cards off screen. And we will get those as needed. Okay, so we're pretty ready to go. I'm going to move us back over to our player board here. So we're playing the Tulsing Porters. We're going to have turn number 1. We've got all of our resources. We've got our 3 starting workers. We're ready to launch. We have heard that Unity wants to... Wow, Andromeda is a dangerous place. We've got raiders coming out of the nebula. There is a probe watching our every move. The porters, which have just been sort of peacefully transporting goods in the galaxy, are suddenly aware there's another presence watching us at all times. An aggressive presence. So let's get going and see how we can do. Okay, so on our turn, we're taking our turns just like normal, meaning that we have either a chance to launch or pull back, return to station all of our ships. So we're looking at the board now, trying to assess the positions here. We might want to go for some good resources. There's some, let's see, it's all the way. Is everything in the board? Do I have everything? I don't know if I have everything zoomed in here. It is hard to see every planet here. Yeah, this is a tough camera. I've got to zoom out next time a little bit more. We've got a industry planet right here, which has, sorry, see if I can get this planet right here has a really good moon on it. Keep those right there. So it's got 2 titanium. We've also got the ability as the porters to... Well, we've got the ability to use either the Odessa or the Maximus Field and then buy anything we want. We do start the game with a credit, so we can get anything. And the development office, which might be off screen, is down here, all the way at the end here. So we don't need that right now anyway, so that's not a problem. And we've got 2 raiders guarding the Odessa Field, so one way we could come in is just go to the Maximus Field, which is very safe right now, and get what we need to get done. Now, if we look over at Unity... This is some of the things that I won't be taking too much time on this while I'm playing. I'm not going to worry too much about these cards. But when you're playing, you're going to want to maybe worry about what these cards are. So you'll notice that if Unity rolls their very likely possibility, they will be moving to the south east of wherever the probe is. Now, right now, the probe is on that ice planet. So if that was to happen right now, they wouldn't have, so they would be able to go, that would be the shipyard. So basically, if they got their most likely result right now, if we launched to this planet and that's where the probe stayed, they would most likely go here to the shipyard. Now, when they go to an Alliance base, they're going to run their command wheel, which means for Major Key, that is going to get Major Key an industry module. The bottom industry module is actually one that I do want them to have. So that's not terrible for me. But that's not where the probe is going to be when we launch. If we were to launch here to the Maximus Field, then what's going to happen is the probe would go to the Maximus Field. There would be nothing to the southeast, which means that Unity's most likely thing would be to launch to us and fight us. I'm not sure if I want that, but if they take their most likely result, they're also going to get their heavy cruiser on the board. Their heavy cruiser will probably be able to beat us up. So you can already see that going to the Maximus Field has an inherent danger for turn 1 because they are most likely to bring out their heavy cruiser and they're most likely to beat us up. So that is the type of thing that you can say, okay, well, then I don't want the Maximus field possibly. Their second most likely thing is to go actually the opposite direction. Again, the Maximus field being so close to the actual edge of the galaxy, there is no regions that are to the southwest or southeast, meaning that their second most likely result will be to attack us. Although this attack, if it happens on a 4 or a 5, will be with a transport, a little bit more beatable. Finally, their last result is to go to the trade hub, which is nowhere near where we're thinking. So that's only matter. So you can already see that, technically speaking, like, even though I think a really good move right now would be to go to the Maximus field to get our engine going, that would in fact be a very likely battle with Unity where we would have possibly a disadvantage. Although consider that we do have paid to lose and a perfect shot. So we are kind of set up for a battle right now. And like I said, Maximus field is a pretty good one for us. But if we think about it, we might want to wait and kind of build our way into the Maximus field. I'm not sure if our chat would agree. There's definitely some solo pros in the chat right now. But I'm not going to, like I said, that is the kind of thinking that you would normally take. I'm not going to worry too much about it because I just want to take some turns and show everyone how to quickly move between your turn and Unity's turn. So as I get going, I'm not going to analyze where Unity's going. I'm just going to adapt, which probably doesn't mean we're headed towards a win, but we're going to have fun either way. So I just taking that into advisement. I could go to the Monolith of the Ancients and get some better cards, but of course we have decent cards. So I'm going to ignore all of the advice that I just gave, and I'm just going to go for the Maximus field because we have very decent cards to combat against the win. So we're going to stop by the Maximus field. When we do that, we're going to advance the event timer. I need to actually get the event board in play here. 1 second. Let's get the event board going and the scrapyard going. And we're going to be playing to a 50-point terminus today, or less, depending on, this might just be, let's go over some turns of how to play and then call it, because this is still an experiment for getting the filming going. All right, but I'm just going to show very briefly the event board, which I'm going to maintain off of the camera. So for the event board, we're going to have a 1 to 2 player setup, and I'm going to advance it as we go. So that already advances 1 because of the Maximus field. All right. Sorry, everybody. Let's get this cooking here. So I'm going to advance the timer. Okay, great. And now I have an opportunity to pick up my leader for free because that's a free action. I'm right next to my leader. We're going to do that. We're going to take that leader. Actually, tempted to leave it because, of course, I want to build on that planet. Maybe I need it to score those points. But we do need 2 leaders to build the spaceport, so we'll leave it. We'll take it. Now I get to buy up to 2 modules from anywhere I want. I've already been eyeing the logistics module just because it's going to give me that flexibility. But I also like, there's the supplier is some, good conversion or good generation of a good solid moon. And then I might be able to get this really good industry moon. And then there's also this payment. Now, of course, since I'm near a good moon, I don't really want a payment of good resources to get other resources. There's a really good, it starts off damaged, but this is good card production for a Civ module, and Civ is definitely another track that the Tulsi porters want to go up. So, and then if I look over at science and industry, like I said, I'm not keen on getting this module because I want them to take it. This one is pretty good for me because it's it's energy production. And energy is science is one of my tracks now that I care about, so I might want to rush up here and get that. I do want to just get some advantages on some tracks and then control the nebula and get the scoring to be in my favor. So I think I'm going to focus on my 2 destined starting tracks. So I'm going to buy Let's see what I want to buy here. This is tough because if I buy this one, it's coming in damaged. But we are pretty far away from an event right now, so I think I'm gonna buy the bottom two. So we'll buy this sub-module. We'll buy this commerce module. Each time you buy one of those, I got to pay for it. That's going to cost me my credit. That's going to cost me my ice, and it's going to cost me something else. We're going to spend with our energy. And we'll start off. The ancient star map is going to be damaged. Let's go here. We'll bring it over to my board so we can see all that stuff. So you can see I've brought these two modules in. Okay, I've got those two, and I'm going to advance on those tracks. All right. Now, I have done everything from my turn unless I'm playing a card. And thanks for the shout out for, oh yeah, don't let Unity win. What? No, of course not. We're going to destroy Major Key today. They don't even know what's coming, except for the fact that they just found me, and they're probably going to come at me right now. And thank you for the shout out for the deluxe credits. We are really excited the way those turned out. That was an absolute fun thing to model and design. Sergio Chavez and Eric Tosco, shout out to them. Okay, we're going to now, if we're not playing any cards, and we're not playing any cards, we're going to now see what happens when Unity takes their turn. So it's pretty easy when you're taking Unity's turn. You're done. You're done playing cards. You're all set to go, and you're going to just let Unity do their thing now. So you're going to roll a die, and you're going to, that's a 5. You're going to look at that result on the die, and that's going to activate this row. So you're going to take that ship, the first one that's available. Now, if there is nothing available, that is when Unity is going to return to station. But here we've got a transport available. That's a really good sign for us because that's a result that they're going to try and go southwest of where the probe is. Now, the probe moved over to the Maxwell field when I showed up there. And they can't go southwest because that would be in the middle of nowhere. So they're actually going to launch where the probe is. Now, they do that, and then they're taking their action in full, which is right here. And then they're also going to get their... now, if they land on an Alliance base, their action is going to be to move the command wheel, which is what we assumed they might do. So they're going to then move the marker on their command wheel to the first space, and Major Key, when it reaches the first space, is going to get an industry module. This is already not going to go well, right? Because they've already started an industry, right? So when they take an industry module, which will be on their board, it's this life support pump, which is a Easter egg towards Mission Catastrophe, because it looks like the oxygen module in that game. They're going to gain that, and that module is going to push them up the industry track, which is going to give them an upgrade. So already, they are going to be upgraded, which is dangerous for us. We'll pick this one. That means now that their range is +1 for the entire game. That's actually one of the better ones we could pick right now, so I'm kind of excited by that. Okay, so they have just done their action, which is when they launch to an Alliance base or the Nether Void or the Vortex, they're going to run the command wheel once. That's all they're going to do for their action. Even if the region itself has an event marker, they are not going to do that. They're not taking the action of the Alliance base whatsoever. But after their action, they are going to do this, which is to repair. And right now they don't have a repair. So that means they're going to get a point, which I'm going to give them. Hey, we're already at 2 points. Now they're at 3. Great. And they've gotten an extra point off their module. They've got an upgrade. Now that's the conclusion of their action. I know everyone's like, ouch, that was a brutal turn. I know, it's terrible. It's terrible already. See, I did analyze that we were facing that danger. But I wanted them to take that industry module, and I also think I can win this fight, and I wanted to go to the Maxwell field myself. So I had some reasons for doing it. I think I can withstand this one. So now we have a fight. And now they've got one transport. I've got one transport. We are going to move into all the steps of battle here. So the first thing that happens is escalation. Now they're the first ones to have the aggressive turn. So they're going to get to play their conflict card first. I would play my to have a chance to. There's nothing to escalate, by the way. I've already done the. There's no ships that are nearby, so we're not escalating. We're moving on to diplomacy. If I was the first one to initiate, I would have the chance to play diplomacy first. But they're the ones to initiate, so they are going to play their card. It is that they are ready for battle, so there is no effect. Oh, and someone reminds me, thank you very much for grabbing their leader. They always grab their leader. So because they showed up here, they do grab and take their leader. Yes, that's an excellent plan. They always do that. So they played ready for battle, which is that there's no effect. They're going to just battle as normal. They have a transport with a die of 1. I have a transport with a die of 1. And I have a chance to play my own cards, but you notice I don't have any diplomacy. We're moving right on to battle prep. Now, if I want to win this one, take them out, I could spend an energy, because I've got 2 energy. I could spend one of them to get an extra weapon. But I've got good cards, and I don't want my energy to be gone here. And if I lose, I have a chance to play paid to lose or take it down with a perfect shot. So I am not going to spend any energy. We're just going to roll. Do I have my mats here? Don't have my dice trays or anything. Jeez, what have I done? Okay, well, we got a 3 and they got a 4. So we have an option right now to either say that I'm paid to lose and get 2 credits, or I could do a perfect shot and just take this down. I don't think I want to save that perfect shot. But if they win, they're getting close to. I do want to win on the supremacy track too in this game, right? Because we are racing. That's my destiny to escape extinction. The only way I'm going to do that is fighting. Oof, tough choices already. Should I go and win this one? I think you got to take a win when you can take a win, right? So I'm going to play perfect shot. And I'm going to take this down. So that's going to give me a 6. It's going to win this battle. That's going to knock Unity into the scrapyard. When they go to the scrapyard, there's no tactical ops for them. They were not counting on that. So I play this card. That's done. I win the fight. I'm going to go catch up to them here in supremacy. So I defended my honor. All right. Unity did not win that first one. And that's all that we do for their turn. We're just going to flip up this other card so that we now know what they're going to possibly do. So now they're going to either go directly to the west, they're going to go to the southeast, or they're going to go to the trade hub. And we are now still on the board because we stayed and won that fight. So basically now we're going to have to operate from here, either going to launch ourselves to the commerce planet, the industry planet, or the monolith of the ancients. Monolith of the ancients is tempting because I just lost one of my cards and I could get some more cards. But there's also a really great moon up there. Yeah, it's a tough call. To the moon. Yeah, I mean, seriously, that's a good moon for us. We don't have a way to slot the moon yet. One of the things we did not do is we did not buy the commerce module that allows us to slot a moon, which was definitely something that I should have recalled and remembered to do. That would have been better than logistics possibly for us at this time. So we didn't get that. So the moon is a little bit less useful to me, although it is just pure raw resources, which I could probably use. I am tempted to get it. I know Unity can't go to the east, so I know they can't jump to that region. So I actually think I'm going to go to the monolith right now. And I'm going to get some more. Oh, you're right. Tactical Ops is the other place I could put that. Because I do have my TAC Ops free, and if I lose battles, getting 2 Titanium is pretty good. I'm going to go over here to the Monolith of the Ancients. That is going to cause a new probe region to be the Monolith Agents are watching me as I do this. I am going to leave that leader, however, because I don't know where I'm going to build yet, and I want to leave that leader around. I'm now going to trade any 2 resources to get cards. I'm going to spend an energy and a titanium to get 3 cards. The 3 cards that I draw are harmful nanites to break their stuff and repair my stuff. I like that. We also have a diplomacy card, risky gambit. If you win this battle, advance 1 additional space on the supremacy track. Oh, that would have been nice last turn. And railgun. So those are 3 really great cards that I'm going to need for battling Unity. So we got some good stuff. I like it. I like our tactics options now. Plus, we've got Unwelcome Visitor. We could use their module for ice whenever we want to. And we've got Paid to Lose. Okay, so we've got a good solid hand of cards. Now, they are going to now, that's our turn, right? We're not doing anything else. We're not playing one of our cards. And we're going to move on then to Unity. And Unity does the usual thing, which is they roll a die to determine what they're going to do with their turn. And they rolled a 6. So, surprise, they are now headed to the Trade Hub. So, Unity's going to the Trade Hub. They're going to go launch with this transport to the Trade Hub. They go there. They instantly pick up their leader, as has been said. And then they don't take the action of the Trade Hub. They instead operate their command wheel, which is starting to get dicey. Their command wheel says that the event marker is going to move to the next spot. It also says that they're going to go up on the supremacy track, so we can't stop them from doing this. And they're also going to advance the event timer once again. We're 1 away from an event now. And then the next thing they do, the last thing they do, is they go get another industry module. Holy crap, this is not good. They have, they're going to go up again. This is going to cause the event to happen. They're also going to take this module. So bad thing that we did not play our card on our turn, harmful nanites. That would have been a good idea. I did not expect them to go 3 steps on the event timer, but they did. So, by the way, I'm not going to keep their rows very neat and organized, but I did advance them up on the industry module on the industry track. Okay, that was bad. All right, so they're cruising on industry right now, and that's the end of their turn. So we're going to actually resolve the event. But before we do that, a planet comes out. When it hits the event timer, even if it was more to do, we would definitely bring out this planet. I'll put that out. We'll get some moons on it. Wherever I have put all the moons. Oh boy, I tell you, I should have played Harmful Nanites so that they would have scored last year in this moment. You live and learn. I should listen to the chat. Okay, so we're gonna put out these moons on this planet. You can't really see that supremacy planet, but as things are needed, I will move the cameras. Okay, so nothing else happens on their turn. We're going to resolve an event now. Neither one of us had looked at this event, so this is one of the dangers of not getting out there immediately with your science vessel as soon as possible. And it's Call of the Obelisk, which is going to be a little bit, luckily we're in this fight a little bit, but it's going to be better for them. So how that works is we're going to score supremacy minus any damage. So for Unity, that is going to be 5 points because they have no damage. And for us, it's going to be 3 points because we have 4, but we do have a damaged Ancient Star Map module. So they're going to get 5 straight points to 8, and we're going to get 3. 1, 2, 3. So we are currently at 4. So we have half their points. Not good. The next thing that happens is the B Raider comes out, and I have no idea what the Raiders are in this game because we seeded it randomly. So we're gonna find out what in the heck was chosen as our B Raider today, and it is the Saucerian Abductor. So when the Saucerian Abductor comes out, that comes out on a random nebula. We're gonna roll a die. That is nebula number 2. We're gonna go get the saucer. Put the saucer in play, and it's going to abduct 2 liters each. 2 from Unity and Major Key, and 2 from me. Where are we going to lose our leaders from? All right, we're getting the saucer all set up here. All right, saucer's beginning on Nebula 2, but it can't appear on Nebula 2 because there's already a raider. So we'll give it, the saucer's coming in on 6 instead. Can't see the saucer, but it's right there on Nebula 6. All right, so the saucer needs 2 leaders for the card. So it's gonna, the reward for beating it is to get your leaders back. So we're gonna choose for Unity. They're already snapping up their leaders all over the place. We're gonna take their 2 leaders from over next to the city, ice planet, and then for us, we're also gonna take, I think they're gonna build over there, so if we're gonna lead on that, we'll take these 2 leaders from over here too. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. Okay. Oh, right. That was brutal. Now the effect of the event, which says each player draws 1 tactics card and may recruit 1 of their leaders from any region. That is the call of the obelisk. It's an event for them that is just going to basically give them a free potential point because their tactics cards are not something that they do anything with. We'll keep that in their area. So they're getting 1 of those. Keep those on there. Okay. They get a tactics card. We get a tactics card. We get frantic repairs. Nice. And then we recruit 1 of our leaders, and they recruit 1 of their leaders. So I'm just going to take these development office ones. They've got a ton of leaders over here. And then we also now have 3 leaders. All right. So that was the event. We won some. We lost some. On that one. That's their turn. They just did the trade hub. They did their command wheel. Their command wheel caused a bunch of things to happen in terms of the tracks, which in turn caused the event. And now we're back. What are we going to do? Well, first of all, we should probably, play the harmful nanites because we've got 6 cards now, and we will have to discard down. Plus, we don't want to make that same mistake again and have damaged modules lying around because you never know when an event will happen. So we'll play Harmful Nanites now, which is perform 1 repair and each opponent damages 1 of their modules. So we are going to repair the ancient star map and we will give them a damage instead. So it doesn't matter which module they damage, but we're going to damage the one that, we'll damage the one that's a little bit less likely to be used. Okay, so they've got a damage. We've taken care of that play. You can play tactics cards as free actions whenever you need to. Okay, so now we have to operate from where we are. We've got 2 ships. Now, of course, the saucer is now ready to abduct us or fight us. So we may have a big fight on our hands. Unities, if we go back to Unities, possible things that they could do. We have to flip over a new one for the 3rd result. So again, they might go to the Odessa field. They might go to the east, and they might go to the south. They might go to the west, and they might go to the southeast. Got 1 transport left, or we could pull back. We could pull back, which would allow us to use our engine a little bit and not worry about getting in further trouble. Or we could essentially go to that supremacy planet, grab 1 more moon, and that would not cause a fight. And then we'd potentially be able to build there on a pullback if we got really lucky with the way we pull all the stuff back. If it does cause a fight with Unity coming at us, we could still use our railgun or our paid to lose. Yeah, the saucer does have a range of 2, so it can get here, but it cannot get here because it's in the region that's a little bit off. So it's in the Nebula 6. So it would be able to get us if we go to the industry planet. It would not be able to get us if we chose either the commerce planet or the red radioactive planet. So since we want to build as fast as we can, the question is whether or not we could get 2 credits in time. If we went into that commerce planet and brought in our other ships and then no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to be paid to lose and lose everything. So that's not going to work. I want to figure out how to get 2 credits to build on that planet. But we only have one way of generating a credit in our engine, which is the treasury. Can't really get a second credit that easy. Now we do have our ability. Tilsley porters have pick up and deliver, but that's not going to help us at this juncture. We don't have our heavy cruiser upgrade, the merchant scar, to be generating credits either. So we could potentially build the red planet. So I think that's the one that's going to be more likely for us. Granted, I don't have the resources in general to pull this off. So it would take a pretty lucky break here to have all the resources we need, but we'll just position ourselves pretty well. We'll get a nice card moon, which could be some card generation here. So once we place there, the probe's going to follow us. Then that's basically our turn because the saucer can't reach us. We're not going to play any of our cards at this juncture. We could actually play to use their modules, but we don't need to yet. That's maybe one way we're going to pull off getting the ice we need. So we're not going to do anything else. So it's going to move over to Unity's turn. And so we're going to roll a die for Unity's turn. And Unity rolled a 4, which activates their fighter. Their fighter comes out. It's going to launch to the west of where the probe is. So the fighter is going to launch to the Odessa field. Now the Odessa field is they'll take a command wheel action. So we're going to come back over here. That has this nebula moon symbol plus a commerce module. So they're going to get the leftmost nebula moon, which they don't care what it is because they're not going to use it. That's just going to be 2 points to them, and we won't be able to get it. That's the main thing. So we won't even need to check what that is. They're going to grab that. They're also going to grab a commerce module. They do get the supplier that we were looking at one time. They're going to take that module, and then they will go up in, oops, wrong one. They'll go up in commerce. That is their command wheel action. Now, the additional thing that does when they launch over there is that they are going to bring in one of the 2 Vorticon strikers, which is then within range, and they will have a battle over here. And they will escalate and bring in their transport because they don't worry about it when it's not on a planet. So they're going to definitely come in and get some targeting with their 2 ships and fight this thing. Now I have an option of whether I want to come in. Unfortunately, it's on the planet that I want to build on, possibly. So I think I'm going to let them do this. Although if I get in there and I lose, I could give up this planet and play my... I could play Risky Gambit and Railgun and win it. I could play Paid to Lose and just get credits. This is the only way I'm going to build. So I got to think about whether I'm going to pull back and build or just use my engine. I think I'm going to just pull back and use my engine and try and get the Supremacy Planet on another go. Because I feel like it would be pretty hard to spend everything I got to pull that off. And I think it would be better if I saw a win for myself, especially considering they're standing right at the edge of getting this token. So I think I'm going to escalate in. I'm going to see what happens. Just going to do this. Just fight. We got many may enter, only one can win. So I'm in there. And now they are going to play first for diplomacy. They're going to play one of their conflict cards. And so they are going to play the top card, and it is Overwhelming Presence. The battle ends. Unity advances 1 space on the supremacy track. Well, so much for that master plan, because I had some good cards, and I was going to play them, but they actually take this token, and that is devastating for us, because they don't care. That's just 3 points for them. But it is a token that I wanted, definitely wanted, So I'm bummed that the battle is over. I was going to play Risky Gambit and Railgun possibly to take that down. So not only did I move out of position, but I also didn't get a chance to get any of those benefits. But that is Unity's turn. And that they went to they went here, so that was their card. So we're going to flip over a new card for them for when it is their turn. They could now go to the, oh great, the southeast or the southeast. Oh, and just to point out, this card did have a development symbol on it, but they are not in any position to do that. So you always got to watch out for these extra icons in the corner. Luckily, they didn't have a development set up for that, so I didn't have to do anything for that. Okay, we're moving back over to our turn. Now we don't have any ships left, so we're going to be doing a pullback, and this is the pullback that I was kind of planning for anyway without the use of the planet. So I've got 3 ships on Alliance bases, so it does not matter the order that I pull stuff back because I can't develop, but that's okay. We're not going to worry about that. We're just going to worry about making a good turn out of it. Let's see. We definitely want to use our ancient star map because it's been broken, and so we're going to take advantage of the fact that now it generates an ice. We found our way to some ice, and also we're going to gain a new card. That new card is Seismic Wave. Seismic Wave basically lets us empty out a module field row or column and then buy anything from any column, not just the one that we emptied out with the Seismic Wave. So that's a purchase of a module at any time. That might be good for this turn. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to use the treasury. So we do need some credits. And then now our choices are, we do have 1 energy that we can use for generating to get either another card or logistics. We could also go with our last ship to the primary reactor, which will allow us to use both of these 2 because we'll have plenty of energy to do so. Or we have an option to build a ship or repair something. I do feel like we need more ship options. I don't like to build the ships. I'd rather get an upgrade, but we are pretty far away from an upgrade right now. Plus, I've got to use my cards because I've got 6 cards. So I've either got to use Unwelcome Visitor to generate more resources, or I've got to use Seismic Wave to get something that I want. I'm tempted to do that because I actually have, this is a really good card right now because it would allow me to put the card resource in and get new cards. So as I got cards, I could basically swap them out. Plus, I'd be generating credits. That's a pretty good one for me right now. As far as looking at the moon that I have and seeing how that might be useful. Commerce is also a track that I definitely want. So I mean, that's not a bad idea to play Seismic Wave and pull that out. It's only going to cost me the 1 credit that I already have. So let's do that. Seismic Wave says discard all the modules of 1 type from the board. So what I have to do is pick a column that I don't want. These are endgame ones that I don't want them. They're not going to do anything with these, so I have to just leave those alone unless I get a chance to buy them. This is damage, which he's not going to, Major Key's not going to pick up any more industry anytime soon. He's actually going to pick up science. So I could just purge science and see what happens. I think I'll get rid of industry, though. Just get something else. So if I go over there, I could get better stuff. Okay, so we've got the dynamic mechanism, cryogenics facility, and biomass refinery. So we've got a bunch of, so that's a good one on the bottom there. Definitely want to pick that one up. Then I have a buy. I could actually buy it right now. I could also go with my plan and stick with buying over here. Boy, it's a tough choice because I do want the Merchant Skarn, and the way to get the Merchant Skarn would be to get up industry if I want to get it for free. So I could take this one, which will be, generating whatever resource I put in there when I activate. It's not bad. Oof, tough choice between buying the industry module or buying the commerce module as planned. I think I'm going to go back to get the industry module another time. So I'm going to buy this commerce module, which will cost me the credit that I just got. And I'll build that. So I have to move this over a little bit. So building that, then I go up the commerce track when I do that. That is going to tick the event timer, which was at the full, but it's going to be 1 tick now. All right, so that was seismic wave. That's going to bring all these modules back over here. Another good one. Stuff for them, actually. Okay, so that was the commerce buy. That was seismic wave. I'm still in my pullback turn. Now I've actually got several things I can do with that syndicate interface that I just built. So I have an energy, I can actually use it, which is pretty tempting. So I could plug this in. I can see what happens first. When I plug it in, I get a point. Now I can spend cards to get cards and credits. Let's take that point. Now let's actually activate that module with energy. So that says that I spend a card to get a card. All right, let's lose. Boy, I've got good cards. It is hard to decide between Paid to Lose, which is 2 credits, Unwelcome Visitor, which is just one of their modules, Risky Gambit, which is if I think I'm going to win, go up twice on Supremacy, a Railgun, which I absolutely need, and Frantic Repairs, which I need. So I think the worst card that I've got here is Unwelcome Visitor. So I'm going to let that go. When I do that, I generate another card off the deck, which this time I get Deflector Shield, prevent any damage. That's pretty good. Also, cards are a secret sauce for sure. Then I'm also going to get a credit. So I'm going to get a credit right here. And then I still could, with my last remaining ship, go get 2 energy to basically generate more stuff here, which is basically another card which I'll have to get rid of or play. So let's not forget that I could play the card. And logistics. Or the other thing you could do is go over here and just build myself a better ship, which at this point is going to be building a ship out of cards. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it go and use the primary reactor, and then the primary reactor is going to generate 2 energy. I'm going to use those energy, 1 on logistics to get a titanium. And then the second thing I'm going to do is I can choose to use architect or save my energy. I actually think that I'm going to save my energy because if I generate a card, I have to play a card. And the only one that I can play right now, literally out of my 5 cards, is Frantic Repairs, which I don't want to do at this juncture. It's 2 points, but I could use it at a more key time. So I'm going to stay away from using my last energy, and my ships are going to come home to my launch bay, and we're good to go. That was my whole turn. The probe didn't move at all, so it stays right where it was on the Supremacy planet, and we move over to Unity's turn. Don't forget, Major Key is out here plotting while all that is happening. They're plotting to take another action themselves. They go and they roll. The most common result, which finally is a 2. What happens there is they are going to first go towards the southeast of the probe, which the probe is right here. They're going to launch to this planet with their heavy cruiser. That's perfect that the heavy cruiser ended up launching there because they cannot build there. But they will grab the moon, which gives them 2 points at the end of the game. They're building up points on me. That is how you gotta watch it. Anyway, so that was their turn. They also have a repair in the corner here. And when you do that says they're going to repair something, so they're going to repair this module. They actually have a ship in the scrapyard, and I believe Unity will repair ships first. So I believe they're going to, someone can fact check me on that, or I can go look up the rules myself. But I believe they're going to go into the repair barge first, and they're going to not repair their module. But let me just get these. These cards turns out these were face up. And I'm going to leave them face down and leave them like the other decks and just turn a new one over. That's going to be their new one. Okay. So that was their turn. That's too far away for the saucer to do anything. It's too far away for the raiders to do anything. So they have a very short turn on a planet where they grabbed a moon. Now that's it. They did a repair with the action of their card. Oh, Unity prioritizes module repairs. Thank you for that reminder. So they're not going to move their ship out of their scrapyard into the repair barge. They're instead going to take this damage marker off of their ice extractor so that we can use it. Apparently they wanted to think of us first. It always repairs a module. Look at this. Look at how helpful the team is here. So they're playing together. Which module repaired is not important. Only if all modules are repaired will Unity repair the damaged ship. So good for us because ships that are in the repair barge get to activate their command wheel, and we don't like that. Although ships that are in the regular area are still 2 points, and they're, the damage module would of course have hurt them during the event. So there's no good answer, but we'll go by that. Of course, is the priority as dictated in the rulebook. So that's what we got to do. What I'm saying is there's no good that comes out of Unity turns, regardless. Okay, we're back to our turn. We've got a handful of cards, and all of our ships are ready to rock. All right, got to get used to turning this thing correctly. Okay. All right, we're launching somewhere. We can go anywhere. They're on the board. We want to beat them. We want to fight them. We're ready for it. We've got deflector shield. We've got paid to lose. We've got railgun. We are ready for a fight, but we cannot launch occupied. We don't have the kind of fleet that could do that. We could launch to the Maximus field and then go buy stuff again. Like, honestly, just keep buying stuff and get our engine just ridiculous. I gotta take these energy off because they have already been dealt with. We could do that. Maximus field is open. I like it. I like doing stuff. I like buying stuff. Now, we do have to build up enough resources that we can... If I buy 2 damage modules and then play frantic repairs, I'm going to get rid of that card out. My hand size is like... I'm running into my hand size. I need to get cards spent. And I could buy this point card and that damaged... I can't buy that science... Oh, I want that science one, but I should have picked nanocarbon as my as the logistics generation, because I'm kind of set up with ice and titanium. I could, of course, forget about the buying total damage and get this bottom one, which is pretty great for us as well. So I think that might be the move. Go to the Maximus field, buy the index extractor and the dynamic mechanism. It's too bad I don't have more than 1 credit, because of course I could also deliver to the Maximus field and then go up the commerce track again. I don't really need to push up the commerce track until the end of the game, so I don't really need to, do the delivery at this juncture. So take it easy. Appreciate everybody, checking in. Thanks for watching, Carmen. And then the spice must flow. Thanks for that. I'm tempted to go to the Maximus field, although I'm really spending all my resources. If I go to the Maximus field, also the saucer will attack me, but I am ready for a fight. I think I've been ready for a fight, and I've got the cards for it, so that seems to be the way that I'm going to go and draw it. Now, the nice thing about the Maximus field is it's far enough away that the Unity cannot get their fighter in. So if I am going to cause a fight, this seems to be the spot to do it. It is going to be a tough fight, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to do it. Not going to overthink it. That's going to move the event timer. It is now 2 away from an event. We're going to buy 2 modules. We can buy them from anywhere because we're the Tolzien Porters. Now, I really wish I could buy the nanocarbon one. That is a bummer. I do want to start buying science because A, it's our destiny. B, we need energy generation if we're going to have a large engine. C, I don't have a C. It does generate the nanocarbon that I need. Okay, well, let's start with this one. This one's just too good. I mean, I have to buy that one. I think my frantic repairs idea is a good one. So we're going to buy this index extractor, and then we're going to add that to our engine. All right. That comes in damaged. That pumps us up the commerce track. That gives us the vault. Not that that matters right now. We're going to spend our credit for that. But we're going to be generating credits with that, generating points with that. That's not a bad module to have right now. The other thing we can do is spend, and let's just get the good production here on industry, because we do want our merchant scarn. We do want to go up here. So that is going to give us the ability to, we're going to need to get some good moons now. So that's going to pump us up the industry track like this. I'm going to move these down. Okay. Now, let's go. So that happens. The event went. The saucer is coming in. That's going to cause a fight. Unity's not going to miss out on a fight, so that's going to happen, of course. Great. Great times. Okay. We are going to... We're still not going to play Frantic Repairs just yet, because we're going to wait to see what happens with this battle. So we have a lot of things we could do. We could play Risky Gambit and try and win this thing. We don't have a lot of energy. We do have a railgun. The railgun's going to add a die and targeting. So basically Risky Gambit plus railgun, or take a loss and then play pay to lose to generate 2 credits, and possibly Deflector Shield if we really want to stay there. I'm not sure I care about staying there. We want to catch up in Supremacy, so I think we always want to take the win. So now, are you saying the fighter as in me, or are you saying that I should have? Because the Unity fighter is too far away, so luckily I don't have to worry about that. I'm doing a terrible job at fighting, but I do have the ability to get cards, and I might as well use the cards I have. So I'm going to play during Diplomacy. I'm the one who started this fight, so I'm going to play Risky Gambit, which says that if I win this fight, I'm going to go up an additional space on the Supremacy track. Let's get that card played and out of the way. Then they're going to play... This is the thing I don't know. Are they going to end the battle? Because they're going to play a conflict card right now. And theirs says, oh, crap. Homing torpedoes. Unity gains 1d6 and 2 targeting for this battle. Oh, it is game on right now. Holy cow. They have homing torpedoes. Okay. So they're going to roll... they're going to roll 3 dice for their cruiser, plus they're going to roll 2 more dice, plus they have targeting of 3. I am going to roll for my little tiny transport. I'm going to roll 1, and I'm going to spend this energy to make it 2, and then I'm going to play Railgun to make it. So Railgun adds another die, plus 2 targeting for me. So I'm a little behind on my dice to them. Whew, I did not think they were going to have homing torpedoes, but we're going to go for it. I have 3 dice versus their 5. We both have the same amount of targeting, but now, of course, we have to get all the dice for the Raider, because the Saucer rolls 4 dice. And it's game on. I'm going to get the 4 dice for the Saucer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 4 dice for them. And I wish I had a dice tray. I'm going to have to go to cardboardalchemy.com and get myself a dice tray. So for the next time I do this. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, actually, oh my God, look at my roll. Look at this. They've got 2 6s. I rolled 3 6s. Now we're talking. The Tulsi Porters are pissed off. Look at this. I got this is, by the way, just how immediately fun combat can be. I was against the odds. Now they are going to be rolling. Notice that Unity does have 3 targeting. They're going to re-roll this too. That could change everything. But right now we're ahead of the Saucer is way out of it, because they've got 5, 4, 3, 3. So Saucer is toast. One of us is winning against the Saucer. We're going to roll this last 2, and they rolled a 4. So that is going to mean that we stomp Unity in the key moment that we needed to. Tulsi Porter, boom! That we get to go up twice in Supremacy, catching up to Unity, getting 2 points for doing so. That was great. Love it. Then we also beat the saucer so that we get the saucer is knocked out and we get our 2 leaders. Unity gets 1 of their leaders, so they drop off one of. They have so many leaders, it's ridiculous. We get 2 of our leaders. The other one of their leaders stays on the saucer to be experimented on from now on. Okay, so that was brilliant. Love that result. Of course, you can go any which way here at the edge. So, but I have plenty of ways to get cards, which is why I did all that. Okay, so now they do not leave the region because they have a heavy cruiser which has shields, so they're going to take damage to their shield. They're not knocked out. Now, I just want to point out, by the way, there already was a mistake made on the play. Oh, Cozy Board Games, what difficulty is this? We're playing level 2, because why not? If I'm going to get destroyed by a Unity Commander, why not play level 2, right? So there was a mistake made on the play already. I will point out that the Unity folks have +1 range. It's an upgrade that they got really early on, which meant their fighter could come in and would have come in to the battle. So I'm going to move their fighter in, and we're going to roll them 1 more die. They're already rolling 5 dice, but they would have had 1 more die and maxed out. And that is a 4, so I don't need to worry about it. But since I caught it, their fighter comes in and takes damage and gets knocked out into the scrapyard. So, of course, that's even better for me that they came in. Okay, so with homing torpedoes, actually, wait a second. Wait 1 more second. Sorry, we have to do this. Let's be totally legit, because with 1 more ship in the fight, they would actually have 4. They would have 4 targeting, not 3. See, this is where it gets dangerous. So remember, they have this 3 that I wasn't worried about, but now I have to re-roll it. There it goes. Look at that, just like that. I needed them to roll a 4 or a 5, but they did not roll a 4 or 5. And all of a sudden now I'm set back. It was going to be one of the greatest moments in battle history for the Tulsi Porters, but the way that the captain's log reads now is devastation. The saucer, by the way, does not have a shield, so the saucer is still toast. But the way this works now is I get 1 of my leaders back, not 2. They got both of their leaders back because they won this fight. I do not get 2 up on the supremacy. I do not get 2 points. They go up 1 in supremacy because they won, and they got their leaders back instead. So now I can play. Oh boy, it went the other way. So their fighter's back. They don't have damage on their heavy cruiser. Wow. That escalated quickly. Yes. This is why Mark says he's using dice to designate targeting. It's too much to remember in the heat of battle. It is tough. You have to manage a little bit going on here. But I did remember that their fighter had range. Their fighter got in. That gave them 1 more targeting. I do think Mark's onto something if you use a die to perhaps tell you how much targeting is in play. But I was able to count the 2 ships. That's 2. And then I knew their homing torpedoes added 2. So that was how I just remembered that it was 4. But you could use a die. Meanwhile, they destroyed me. So now they went up supremacy. I did not. They got their ship is fine. Mine has now a choice to make. I get my tactical operations. I don't have a moon, so I'm going to be drawing a card for sure for tactical operations. We are going to get, oh, sure. Now we get it, secret weapon. But hey, it's for the next fight. We're ready. We're going to let our ship go, I think, out of the Maximus field. Let it, we could pay. No, we're not gonna. We could have paid to lose, but we wanted that card. So we're gonna go into the scrapyard. We're gonna save our deflector shield for another time. You can say whatever you want. I'm having a fun time. The thing is that I actually don't care if I beat Unity. I just care that I have a blast, and I am having a blast. I appreciate everybody watching me go through solo play. I hope this helps someone else in their quest for the, fighting against Unity and playing the game out. So that was my turn, and we're actually going to move now to Unity's turn. All right. Now, Unity is going to roll a die. And they rolled a 6, which is the Odessa field, and their science vessel. And their science vessel has a special ability to grab a nebula moon. So the nebula moons are being snapped up by Unity. This one is one that I could have had. Should be a point and a credit. Now I'm not going to have that. Doesn't matter. They don't care. That's just 2 points for them. They're going to launch to the Odessa field. They launch where they already are, and they're going to take the action of the Odessa field. Actually, they're not going to take the action of the Odessa field. They're going to take their command wheel action. So it's not going to move up the event timer. Instead, it's going to go here, and they're going to get a science module, grabbing the one that I was interested in. Great. They're going to go up science. Great. And then we're going to move these modules down. So they're also going to get a free repair. Now they don't have any repairs in their modules, so they're going to slide their ship from the scrapyard into the repair barge, making it more potent when they return. Great. Now you'll notice that there is also an event timer on the corner of the Odessa field module, so that means the event ticks. We're 1 away from an event happening, and this card now moves into here. Now, they're going to have a fight because they did launch to a region with a raider in it, and they're going to escalate into that fight. So they're going to have this heavy cruiser come in, and the fighter also has range because they have range +1. So they're coming with their entire armada. They're protecting their fleet to eliminate the Vorticon Striker, which is shaking in its boots right now because there's a whole armada of them and only one of it. This, by the way, this probe is on the Maximus field at the moment. Okay, so that battle should be pretty easy. Then we're going to roll 2 dice. They're going to play a conflict card to see what happens. And they play homing torpedoes. Well, good that wasn't against me. They're going to go overkill. They cannot add any more dice. They can add targeting to their max. So they're going to roll 5 dice with 5 targeting. 6 dice with 5 targeting. And the poor striker is only rolling 2. And they crushed it. We don't even need to worry about these dice and re-rolling it. They absolutely crushed it. So they win. They go up supremacy, taking another amazing module from another amazing token from me. 3 points for them. And they also get a card because they beat a Vorticon Striker. And they put that over here. Vorticon Striker is eliminated. Well, great. Unity is racing up the track that would be my destiny. The Unity probe should move too. The probe is actually on the Maximus field correctly. It does not move for them, it only moves for me. So the last place I went was the Maximus field, and where they went is they went to the Odessa field because their card said so. So that was their turn. I am now coming back. Okay. Oh, thank you. I'm glad I fixed it. I mean, yeah, the chat's a little bit delayed, but thank you for calling that out because I'm right now I'm reeling from the fact that Unity is destroying me. It's got me a little flustered. I'm off my game here now. I got to figure out how to get back into this game. Okay. What do I have? I have 2 ships, and I've got frantic repairs, which is going to give me my ship back, which is what I'm going to do that now so I don't forget because I don't want to score negative points in the event again. So I'm going to play frantic repairs. It is going to trigger the event at the end of my turn, but I'm not going to suffer damage for that module. So my ship in the scrapyard moves into the repair barge, I also repair my module, and we also trigger the event, which is going to bring out a new planet. The new planet that comes out is another ice planet. It's going to be right down here. We're going to have 3 icy moons on that planet, and that will happen at the end of my turn. Okay. Now I did that before launching because I can now adjust and possibly go to that planet. I know that you guys can't see that necessarily, although actually the moon is just in view. It's a point and an ice. If I wanted to launch there with my ship, I could do so. The event is going to happen at the end of my turn. Okay. Let's see. I can launch anywhere. If I look at what Unity's got going on, Unity could either launch to the leftmost undeveloped planet or go to the development office. Not scared of that per se. Their next thing on the command wheel, though, is going to be supremacy and a build and an event, none of which that really scares me because they're not on a planet right now. So not terrified of that. They can also go to the southeast or fight me. So I don't really mind where they're going to go. I'm just going to choose my best action. I definitely want to... I can't buy anything. I'm out of resources. I do want to sort of stay safe and have a good pullback. I think it's finally time that we got a good moon. So I'm looking at either getting the industry one, which has there's 2 titanium, or getting that new ice moon over there. Yeah, there's no way they're probably not gonna come at me if I go to this. If I go to the center and go try and get back on that industry planet, I just don't know that I'm set up to build there. So the other option I have is potentially to, make the most use of my credit row and try and build there. Yeah, I was leaving leaders over here so that I could have a really good build over here. And I just need to figure out, if I go there, how I'm going to get that build to happen when I'm totally out of resources. So I do think I need to get good moons first. So, yeah, it is a tough call. I've got 2 ships left, and I want a good pullback turn. So I'm going to go get a point and an ice moon. I think I need 2 titanium more than anything else. So I'm going to get that moon. 2 titanium. That is going to move the probe not very far. It's going to follow me 1. And now it is going to be their turn because I'm not going to play any of these cards. So we're going to move over. The point ice moon is pretty awesome. I'm just kind of thinking that I don't know that I need ice. So I'm not feeling it for the ice. It's also, I might want to go back in the Maximus field of the monolith. So, I guess the monolith is the only one that I can go back into. Okay, so we're going over to Unity. We're going to roll a die for Unity. Oh, no, we're not going to roll a die for Unity. We're going to do the event. Let's not forget there's an event at the end of my turn. The event is an energy surge. So we are going to score science. Now they're ahead of me by 1. Neither one of us have any damage on our boards. So they are going to get 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am going to get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We each get to run. Well, actually, there's a special effect we'll get to. It's modified a little bit for Unity. The D-Raider comes out now, and we don't know what that is because at the beginning of the game we did not look. So we're going to find out what it is. It is the Mortality Sphere. All right, that is devastating. So the Mortality Sphere begins on the development office, and it has 2 shields, 5 dice, 2 targeting, and a special effect of barrage. When the Mortality Sphere wins a battle, each player against the Mortality Sphere takes 1 damage to one of their modules. The Mortality Sphere could actually help us against Unity right now because it also, while it is our foe, does not like Unity 1 bit. So we're going to build the Mortality Sphere right now really quickly. And put it out on the development office. All right, the energy surge, a little unfortunate that I didn't know that was coming because I had been thinking about buying science modules and I would be able to run my engine. But I do get to run my engine even though it's not the best engine, my primary reactor, rather. So the mortality sphere, which again, we're playing with deluxe pieces today. So this is what the mortality sphere looks like. Yes. And we're going to put that all the way on the development office. You might not be able to see it. But he's in there at the corner, so we'll see him if we go over there. The special effect is each player may activate their primary reactor, but there is a unity effect that is unique to this event, so they're not going to activate their primary reactor. Instead, they're going to gain a science module, the bottom one, which comes in damaged for them, and then they are going to go up in science when they do that. It says it's an event trigger, which we don't do because we're in the middle of an event. So that's lucky. And then finally, we get to activate our reactor, which gives us 2 energy, which we desperately need. And that resets the event. Okay. Now, we are on Unity's turn proper. So we're going to roll a die for Unity's turn. They roll a 5, which is going to trigger right here. It is going to go to the southeast of the probe, which it cannot. So basically that means that this transport is going to launch right here. And even more devastatingly than that is not only are they going to snap up this moon immediately and take it so that we can't have it, but they're also going to, they have a development that's going to happen, which means even before we get to battle, they're just going to just come in here and build a factory. They saw that we were mildly interested in this industrial planet, and they decided, we don't know why they're interested, but we're immediately going to just take over and build there. So just fantastic, right? So we're going to take one of their transports. We're using the advanced developments today. So we're going to take one of these. We'll do one. We'll do, because we're doing blue and white leaders, we could, of course, build it out of both. That'd be kind of funny. It'll, or do we want to just, we'll unify it. We'll just unify it because it might be frustrating to look at that. So we'll have that. That's their factory right there. Look at that. We'll build that on the industrial planet. We'll say goodbye to ever building on that planet ourselves. Okay, so that means they're going to take the development card for the factory. When they take a development card, we follow the steps of that card. We've also got Unity's special rules here. So first they go up industry for building the factory, which pops them to their next upgrade. So we immediately stop what we're doing. We give them one of their upgrades. They get 5 points. That's an instant. We don't need to do anything other than just give them the 5 points. Okay, the next thing that happens is they score for that development. There's 2 leaders inside the factory itself. So they're scoring those 2 leaders. And there are 2 leaders nearby at the Monolith of the Ancients. So they're going to score a total of 4 for all leaders. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not looking good for us today. Okay, then they have their one-time ability, which is that they get 2 repairs. They have a damaged module, so they're going to repair that. Once they repair that module, they don't have any damaged ships. They don't have any other damaged modules, so they get 1 point for that. And they're done with that card. Good times. All right, they just landed in front of us, constructed a factory while we were looking the other way. That is their entire turn. The next card for them, should it come up, is going to be that they're going to the Maximus field. Now, they roll a 4 or a 5, they're actually going to be returning to station because they have no more ships. So if they roll either a 6, a 5, or a 4, they are coming back. So it's funny, this is giving me traumatic flashbacks of all the indie games I've played so far. This is how brutal they are. You have to make the right choices without knowing what the right choices are what they're always going to be. I have already not gotten to the Nebula, and I've not upgraded ships. So I'm struggling a little bit to. I can't control the events that are happening to me. I certainly am not necessarily paying attention to what Unity is going to do next, which is another thing that you would have to start studying if you want to do better against them. You would have to look at your cards and make the best moves. Definitely, I need to get developments on the board. So yeah, I am building a decent engine, but will I build it fast enough? That is the question. And I'm gonna briefly just plug in my. I gotta plug in my laptop here really briefly before I take my next turn, because my, another thing that I did not anticipate is the power drain. Unity is causing my computer to drain. Actually, what I could do, because I could just pause this game and call this the intro to Unity and basically give everybody this is the taste of the game. This is how you set up and start playing, and then I can film another one after Essen with perhaps my cameras all set up again correctly, and then maybe do a full experience. Maybe we'll do it that way so that I give everybody just a taste. Obviously, you can see how brutal Unity can be. They have just built their first development, which is where Major Key would start even causing more havoc against me by shooting missile silos at me from 2 away. Meaning that with this position right here of this factory, it can be shooting missiles all the way to this range at me. So that would have been some pretty heavy combats. What I needed to do, I think, with my game is divert energy to my laptop. That's what I need to do. Diverting energy to the laptop. What I need to do with my game, if I was to keep going right now, is I need to really take advantage of my engine more to get cards and to start get like if I start getting stealth maneuvers and things like that. I need to basically build quickly. Instantly get on this board, figure out which tracks I'm going to do. I'm doing really well in commerce and I have a vault. So basically I should be leaning into the so-called OP track of the game and then be building up with the porters. I should be doing pushing that to vault 2, getting my commerce to go. But in addition to that, just not relying just on that, but I would also need to buy probably the end game modules as well, because I need to basically get a bunch of points if I'm going to compete against Unity, because they're driving the end game here. So the end game for me, if they're going to drive the end game, I can't compete with them on everything. What I need to compete with them on is what I can compete with them on, which is I'd probably give up my Destiny card right now. I might be able to win back the science points, but I might just go, listen, if they're going to rush the end and I get the vault plus Civ bonuses, I might be able to compete on points. Because I'm looking at it already. My civilization is just not going to move as fast as they are. They're not going to fight them as well as they're going to fight. What I need to do is have clever plays with the cards that I have left. Use those cards to get stealth builds and quick buys and stuff like that, and then quickly move up the 2 tracks for the end game. But the Tools Importers will be back another time. This is what I think we're going to do, because I need to get a better setup so I can record, so I can have everything ready to go for everybody here. But like I said, I was doing it mostly for an experiment. I also wanted to make sure that we covered how to set up Unity for someone who was looking at it for the first time. As you saw in the chat, there's tons of tips for how to, Mark had some tips for how to track all the moving parts, because it does take some getting used to. But generally speaking, the turn that you're taking is the same turn. Like, you're doing the same exact thing as you would in the main game, and you're just getting used to rolling a die and taking their turn. Like, either a planet grabbing a moon or an alliance base and running their wheel. You just have to watch out for all the little the things like the corner actions. You got to watch out for those. You also got to watch out for the way that their ships behave The fact that their cruiser, we didn't really see this, but it has infinite range. It'll come from anywhere. The fact that their science vessel picks up nebula moons, and if they have upgrades like this range, we saw that in action where they get to go farther. Their transports won't leave planets if they're undeveloped, so they won't actually give up a good position on the planet, which is something that's um, definitely been improved on since Dwellings Solo. Thank you for the comments, by the way. Really appreciate it. I'm glad that we can get some new information out to people. I know that this is a lot to take in, the Solo, but it's a lot of fun. It basically really captures this game just like when you're playing multiplayer. And in fact, you can add Solo to a multiplayer, which is another stream I'd love to do someday, which is show what happens when you're playing with multiple people and Unity is coming at you, coming at the person who is holding the con. So we'll do that someday as well. In the meantime, I hope you all have an enjoyable weekend. Game on if you're playing Andromeda's Edge or whatever you're playing. If you don't have Andromeda's Edge yet, we hope you have fun gaming this weekend. And thanks for watching. Until the next stream, we'll just pretend that I won this fight against Unity. That's what we'll say. And until we see the next multiverse occur. Thanks, everybody.